You, this useless woman, I'm going to end this today. You are a thief!
Daniel's car screeched to a halt at Balogun Market as the crowd's screams pierced the Christmas Eve air. He pushed through bodies to find his wife Grace holding his mother's head underwater in a muddy drainage ditch, her designer prayer shawl trailing in filth. Die, you witch! Die for what you did to my family. Grace's voice was demonic, unrecognizable. What would you do if you discovered the person you married was a monster? Hit like if family matters. And comment where you're watching from. Daniel was 42, CEO of an oil servicing company in Lagos, married to Grace for 8 years. Grace was 35, a social media gospel influencer with 200,000 followers who called her sister Grace the prayer warrior. Mama Agnes was 68, Daniel's widowed mother who'd lost her life savings to an internet scam 3 months ago and moved into their Lekki mansion to recover. The domestic betrayal had started subtly. Grace's cold shoulders when Mama spoke. Her sharp corrections about how Mama held the baby. Her suggestions that Mama was too traditional for their modern home. Daniel had dismissed it as adjustment period tension, trusting his wife's public displays of Christian devotion. He'd been catastrophically wrong. Now, in front of hundreds of market shoppers with phones recording, Grace was trying to murder his mother. Daniel grabbed his wife, yanking her off Mama Agnes, who gasped for air, covered in mud and sewage. What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? His voice was thunder. Grace turned to him, mascara running, and her next words would haunt him forever. She cursed our marriage. She's been using witchcraft against us. I found juju under our bed. Your mother is a witch and she needs to die before she destroys us. The accusation hung in the air as Mama Agnes coughed up muddy water, too weak to defend herself, shame and terror in her eyes. The crowd murmured, some agreeing with Grace, some horrified. Daniel's world tilted on its axis. Daniel lifted his mother from the filth, her Christmas wrapper ruined, her dignity shattered. Call an ambulance, he ordered, but Grace blocked his path. Don't touch her. She'll contaminate you with her evil. Your mother is a scam victim because she has bad spiritual covering. Now she's trying to transfer that curse to our children. I won't allow it. Her religious rhetoric sounded insane in the market chaos. Move, Grace. Now. Daniel's voice was ice. For the first time in 8 years, his wife saw something in his eyes that made her step back. Fear. He carried Mama to his Range Rover as the crowd parted. Some people were live streaming, others calling Grace a good wife protecting her home. The court of public opinion was already dividing along spiritual warfare lines. At Reddington Hospital, doctors treated Mama for near drowning, shock, and hypothermia. She couldn't speak, just stared at the ceiling with hollow eyes. Daniel sat beside her bed, his mind replaying every moment he'd missed. Every time Grace had been too busy to include Mama in family activities. Every subtle dig disguised as Christian correction. Every isolation tactic wrapped in prayer language. His phone exploded with notifications. The market attack was viral. #PrayerWarriorGrace was trending with split reactions. Half praised her for spiritual warfare against witchcraft. Half called her a monster attacking an elderly woman. Daniel's business partners were calling, concerned about his family's public disgrace. His reputation was burning in real time. Then his younger sister Amara burst into the hospital room, tablet in hand. You need to see this. Now. She played a video that made Daniel's blood run cold. Security footage from their home showing Grace doing something that proved this wasn't about witchcraft at all. It was about money, betrayal, and a conspiracy that went deeper than he'd ever imagined. The security footage showed Grace 3 days ago, in their bedroom, carefully placing traditional juju items under the bed. Not finding them, placing them. She'd manufactured the evidence of witchcraft herself, talking to someone on speakerphone about her plan. Once I accuse her publicly of witchcraft, everyone will support me getting her out. Then we can finally access his assets properly without her interference. The voice on the other end belonged to Pastor Jeremiah, their church's assistant pastor. The man who'd been counseling their marriage. The man Daniel had trusted with his family's spiritual covering. Be careful, Sister Grace. If he finds out you planted evidence, you'll lose everything. Make sure the accusation sticks. Public shame is key. Once she's discredited as a witch, no one will believe her over you. Daniel watched the video 3 times, rage building with each viewing. His wife hadn't snapped in a moment of spiritual fervor. She'd calculated this attack, manufactured evidence, and conspired with their pastor to destroy his mother's credibility. But why? What did Mama's presence threaten? What assets were they discussing? His mind raced through recent financial moves. Then it clicked. 3 months ago, when Mama moved in after losing her savings to scammers, Daniel had added her to his company's board as a director. A symbolic gesture to restore her dignity, giving her a title and small salary. But that board position gave her voting rights. Rights that could block certain financial decisions. Decisions Grace and Pastor Jeremiah apparently wanted to make without interference. Amara's voice cut through his thoughts. There's more. I've been tracking her accounts since you mentioned some money seemed off. Daniel, Grace has been embezzling from your company for 2 years. Almost 8 million naira. And Pastor Jeremiah has been helping her move it through the church accounts. Mama's board position meant she'd eventually see the discrepancies in financial reports. That's why Grace needed her gone. Daniel's hands shook as Amara showed him the evidence. Falsified invoices, duplicate payments to shell companies, church donations that were actually laundered embezzled funds. Grace and Pastor Jeremiah had been stealing from him systematically, using her access to company accounts and his blind trust in her Christian image. The emotional manipulation was surgical, sociopathic. How long have you known? Daniel asked his sister quietly. Amara's expression was pained. 2 weeks. I've been building a case, gathering proof before coming to you. I knew you'd defend her, that you'd think I was jealous or stirring trouble. She's played you so perfectly, brother. The devoted wife, the prayer warrior, the Instagram saint. Meanwhile, she's been robbing you blind and planning to eliminate Mama because she was a threat to the scam. The door opened and Grace walked in, still muddy, mascara streaked, carrying her Bible. Daniel, we need to pray. Your mother's demons are attacking our family unity. The pastor said we should fast and intercede before. She stopped when she saw their faces, saw the tablet in Amara's hands showing the security footage. The mask cracked for just a second before sliding back into place. Whatever lies she's telling you, don't believe them. Your sister has always been jealous of our marriage. She's probably working with your mother to turn you against me. This is exactly what witchcraft does. It causes division in families. Grace's voice was calm, practiced, the same tone she used in her prayer videos. But Daniel saw through it now. Every technique, every manipulation, every spiritual warfare claim was just cover for theft and cruelty. Amara, call the police, Daniel said quietly. Grace, you're going to sit down and wait. You've committed fraud, embezzlement, attempted murder, and conspiracy. Pastor Jeremiah too. This ends tonight. Grace's face transformed from false piety to pure rage. You'll regret this. Do you know who I am? I have 200,000 followers. I'll destroy you on social media. I'll tell everyone you're a wife beater, that you abuse your mother and blame me. No one will believe you over me. The police arrived within 30 minutes. Grace's threats escalated as they cuffed her. I'm a woman of God. You can't arrest me on Christmas Eve. This is persecution of Christians. My followers will protest. Her social media persona crumbled as security dragged her away, revealing the calculating criminal underneath. Nurses and patients recorded everything, the footage already uploading before she left the building. At the police station, Daniel filed formal charges: embezzlement, fraud, attempted murder, conspiracy, and elder abuse. The evidence was overwhelming. The security videos, the financial records Amara had compiled, eyewitness testimonies from the market attack, hospital documentation of Mama's injuries. Grace's perfect Christian image was being systematically dismantled by undeniable proof. Pastor Jeremiah was arrested at the church's Christmas Eve service while preaching about faithfulness and integrity. The irony wasn't lost on the congregation as police led him out in handcuffs. His wife collapsed, screaming about spiritual warfare. But the financial trail was clear. He'd been pocketing embezzled funds, using the church as a money laundering front, and counseling Grace's abusive mama to protect their scheme. Back at the hospital, Mama Agnes finally spoke, her voice hoarse from near drowning. I knew something was wrong. The way she looked at me changed after I joined the company board. I thought I was imagining it, that I was being sensitive. Then small things started disappearing from my room. My reading glasses. My Bible. She was isolating me, making me seem confused and unreliable before she made her big accusation. Daniel held his mother's hand, guilt crushing him. He'd brought her into his home promising safety after scammers destroyed her savings. Instead, he delivered her to a different kind of predator, one who wore a prayer shawl and quoted scripture while plotting murder. The betrayal was so deep, so calculated, he wondered if he'd ever trust again. His phone buzzed with a message from Grace's lawyer. Her defense strategy was already forming, and it was going to get uglier before justice prevailed. If you're hooked on this story, subscribe now. What do you think Grace will claim in court? Comment below and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Grace's lawyer, Barrister Okon, was a notorious defender of wealthy criminals. His strategy was revealed in a leaked voice note. We'll paint the mother as a manipulative scam victim who seduced her way into the family to steal. We'll say Grace discovered the embezzlement was actually the mother stealing, and confronted her at the market. Self-defense against a thief. The audacity was breathtaking. By Boxing Day, Grace's social media team had launched a counter-narrative. Posts claiming Daniel was abusive, that Mama Agnes had been embezzling, that Grace was the real victim of family conspiracy. Her followers rallied with #JusticeForGrace, demanding her release. Thousands believed her without question. Conditioned by years of her carefully crafted holy woman persona, Daniel's business took immediate hits. 3 major contracts were suspended pending investigation. Partners distanced themselves, fearing association with the scandal. His reputation, built over 20 years, was crumbling because his wife had weaponized religion and social media against him. The public court was ruling before the legal one even began. Mama Agnes saw the posts from her hospital bed, each lie adding to her trauma. Maybe I should just disappear, she whispered. Your business is suffering because of me. Your wife is destroying you to save herself. If I wasn't here, none of this would have happened. The defeated tone in her voice broke Daniel's heart. Grace had succeeded in making Mama feel like the burden. Then Amara discovered something that changed everything. Grace's phone, seized by police, contained messages with Pastor Jeremiah from the day of the attack. Make sure you're recording when I confront her. We need content that looks like spiritual warfare, not assault. The Christians will defend me if it looks like I'm fighting demons. They'd planned to film the attack for religious clout. The depravity was stunning. The leaked messages went viral overnight, flipping public opinion violently. People who'd defended Grace now felt betrayed and manipulated. #Grace is a fraud trended globally. Her follower count dropped by 50,000 in hours. The same Christians who'd called her a warrior now called her a wolf in sheep's clothing. The court of public opinion had turned, brutally and completely. Grace's church issued a statement disavowing her and Pastor Jeremiah. We were deceived by false prophets among us. True Christianity doesn't attack the elderly or plot murders for social media content. We apologize to Mama Agnes and the Okafor family. The institution that had enabled her now scrambled to distance itself, protecting their own reputation. But Grace still had defenders, a core group who believed she was being persecuted for spiritual warfare. They organized protests outside the police station, carrying signs reading "Free our sister" and "Don't touch God's anointed." The manipulation had been so effective that even with evidence, some couldn't accept their prayer warrior was a criminal. Cognitive dissonance was a powerful drug. Daniel hired Barrister Chioma Nwosu, a fearsome prosecutor known for destroying manipulative defendants. This case is every woman's nightmare, she told Daniel. Someone who weaponizes faith to abuse. I'll make sure Grace and that pastor never manipulate anyone again. But prepare yourself. They'll try to break you on the stand, make you doubt your mother, question your judgment. Stay strong. The preliminary hearing was set for January 15th. Until then, Grace remained in custody, her bail denied due to flight risk and severity of charges. From her cell, she sent one message to Daniel through her lawyer: "You think you've won. But I know secrets about your business that will destroy you if you don't drop these charges. Secrets your mother helped me discover. Choose carefully." The threat hung over Daniel like a sword. What secrets could Grace know? What had Mama possibly told her? He visited his mother that evening, needing answers. "Mama, did you tell Grace anything about my business? Anything she could use against me?" Mama's face showed confusion, then realization, then horror. "The offshore accounts," she whispered. "I saw them on papers in your study. I asked Grace about them. She said they were legal tax planning. Did I help her find something to hurt you?" Daniel's blood ran cold. The offshore accounts were legal but complex, set up by his accountants for legitimate tax efficiency. But in the wrong hands, with the right spin, they could be painted as illegal money laundering. Grace was threatening to report him to EFCC, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, to force him to drop charges. She'd weaponize his own legal business structures against him. "She's bluffing," Amara said when he told her. "If she reports you, she's admitting she had access to those accounts, which proves she had access to embezzle. It's mutually assured destruction. She won't do it." But Daniel wasn't sure. Desperate people did desperate things. And Grace had already proven she'd burn everything down if cornered. Barrister Chioma was less concerned. "Let her report you. EFCC will investigate, find everything is legal, and it'll just add to her charges for filing false reports and attempted extortion. She's grasping at straws. Don't let her manipulate you into dropping justice for your mother. That's exactly what she wants, to scare you into silence." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. The woman he'd married, the mother of his children, had tried to drown his mother in public, stolen millions, manufactured witchcraft accusations, and was now threatening to destroy his business. How had he missed every red flag? How had her mask been so perfect for 8 years? His phone buzzed at 2 a.m. A video message from Grace's lawyer. What he saw made him realize the war was just beginning. The video showed their 6-year-old daughter Zara visiting Grace in prison, crying and begging her father to stop hurting Mommy. Grace had coached the child to record a tearful plea that was now being shared across social media. "Daddy is keeping Mommy in jail because Grandma is lying. Please help my Mommy come home for Christmas." The manipulation of their daughter was a new low. Daniel was furious but legally powerless. Grace had visitation rights with their children. She was using those visits to weaponize them against him. Barrister Chioma filed for emergency custody modification, but family courts moved slowly. Meanwhile, Grace's team was winning the sympathy war using his own child as propaganda. The emotional manipulation was expert-level sociopathy. At the preliminary hearing, Grace arrived in modest clothes, no makeup, looking like a persecuted saint. She'd abandoned her designer prayer warrior image for vulnerable victim aesthetics. Her lawyer painted Daniel as a controlling husband who'd turned on his wife when she discovered his financial crimes. The performance was Oscar-worthy, complete with tears and Bible verses. Then Barrister Chioma played the security footage of Grace planting the juju under the bed while discussing her conspiracy with Pastor Jeremiah. The courtroom went silent. Grace's lawyer scrambled to object, claiming illegal surveillance, but the judge ruled it admissible as it was from the homeowner's legal security system. The mask cracked in front of everyone. "Mrs. Okafor, did you or did you not place those items under your bed and then accuse your mother-in-law of witchcraft based on evidence you manufactured?" The judge's question was direct. Grace's answer would determine if she got bail. Her face cycled through emotions, anger, fear, calculation, before settling on defiance. "Yes, I did. Because sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. She was destroying my family, and I did what I had to do." The confession shocked everyone. The courtroom erupted at Grace's confession. Her lawyer looked horrified. She'd just admitted to fraud and conspiracy on record. The judge denied bail immediately. "Mrs. Okafor, you've confessed to manufacturing evidence, conspiracy, and by your own admission, attempted harm against a vulnerable elder. You'll remain in custody pending trial. This court stands adjourned. Grace's face showed panic as guards led her away. Outside, journalists mobbed Daniel. How do you feel about your wife's confession? Will you divorce her? What about your children? He made one statement. My mother was nearly killed by someone who claimed to love God. Justice isn't persecution, it's accountability. False prophets who abuse the vulnerable in Jesus' name deserve the full weight of the law. The clip went viral within minutes. Mama Agnes was finally released from the hospital, moving into Amara's house instead of back to Daniel's mansion. The trauma of the attack had made her terrified of the home where Grace had plotted against her. I'll never feel safe there again, she admitted. Daniel understood, gutted by how thoroughly Grace had destroyed his family's peace. Pastor Jeremiah's trial moved faster. Faced with overwhelming evidence and Grace's confession implicating him, he took a plea deal. 7 years for fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. His church leadership was stripped, his ordination revoked. His wife divorced him publicly, taking their children and releasing a statement condemning his perversion of the gospel for greed. That evening, Daniel received an envelope at his office. Inside were divorce papers from Grace. She was divorcing him, claiming abandonment and emotional abuse, seeking full custody of their children and half his assets. Even from prison, even after confessing to her crimes, she was still fighting. Her lawyer's note was clear: drop the charges or watch this get ugly in family court. Are you Team Daniel or Team Grace? Comment below. Subscribe for the shocking trial. What happens when evil refuses to surrender? Daniel's response to the divorce papers was strategic. He filed his own, citing adultery, fraud, and endangerment of family. His evidence included the affair she'd been conducting with Pastor Jeremiah, proven through explicit messages found on both their phones. The scandal deepened. Grace hadn't just stolen and tried to kill, she'd been cheating with their pastor. The revelation destroyed what remained of Grace's Christian influencer credibility. Her most loyal followers abandoned her. Brands that had sponsored her prayer content demanded refunds. The woman who'd built an empire on faith and family values was exposed as having neither. The fall from Grace was complete, poetic, and devastating. Grace's legal team switched tactics. They now claimed she'd been manipulated by Pastor Jeremiah, that he'd seduced and controlled her, that she was a victim of spiritual abuse herself. The strategy was to paint her as another victim to gain sympathy. But the security footage of her planting evidence and planning the attack showed clear agency. She was no one's victim but her own maker. The criminal trial began in February. Day 1, the prosecutor played the market attack video captured by dozens of phones. Mama Agnes testified about months of subtle abuse as food deliberately oversalted or underseasoned so Mama seemed difficult, important belongings mysteriously misplaced to make her seem forgetful. Isolation from friends and family to make her dependent. She was trying to drive me crazy before she tried to kill me, Mama said quietly. If I complained, I looked ungrateful. If I defended myself, I looked paranoid. She was gaslighting me systematically, and my son didn't see it because she performed holiness so perfectly for him. The testimony broke Daniel. He'd failed to protect his mother when she'd needed him most. Grace took the stand in her own defense, a risky move her lawyer advised against. But Grace believed she could manipulate the jury like she'd manipulated her followers. She claimed Mama Agnes had been stealing from Daniel, that she discovered it and confronted her at the market, that the attack was self-defense against a violent woman who attacked me first. Barrister Chioma destroyed her in cross-examination. Mrs. Okafor, if your mother-in-law attacked you first, why does the video show you dragging her to the drainage ditch? Why does it show you holding her head underwater for 42 seconds? Why are there no defensive wounds on you but severe injuries on her? Each question dismantled Grace's lies methodically. And this alleged theft by Mama Agnes, can you provide any evidence? Any at all? Grace fumbled, trying to spin, but there was nothing. She'd been caught in multiple lies. The jury's faces showed disgust. Her attempt to manipulate them was backfiring spectacularly. Narcissists always believed they were smarter than everyone else. Grace was learning otherwise. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Witness after witness testified about Grace's cruelty masked as Christianity. House staff described how she'd mistreat Mama when Daniel wasn't home. Church members recalled how she'd gossip about demonic mother-in-laws while pretending to pray. Financial experts showed the embezzlement trail. The evidence mountain was insurmountable. On March 15th, the jury returned after 6 hours of deliberation. Guilty on all counts: attempted murder, elder abuse, fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy. Grace collapsed, screaming about injustice and persecution. But the evidence had spoken louder than her performance. Justice Ademola set sentencing for 1 week later, giving both sides time to prepare impact statements. Daniel's moment to speak his truth was coming. Sentencing day brought media circus intensity. Daniel's victim impact statement was devastating. "I brought my mother into my home believing she'd be safe. Instead, I delivered her to a predator who weaponized Christianity, manipulated social media, and tried to murder her on Christmas Eve. My wife stole from me, lied to me, turned my faith against me, and made me doubt my own mother. She deserves maximum penalty." Mama Agnes's statement was quieter but equally powerful. "I survived internet scammers who stole my savings. I thought the hardest thing was rebuilding at my age. But being attacked by my own daughter-in-law, being called a witch, being drowned in filth while people recorded instead of helping, that trauma will never fully heal. I forgive her because my faith demands it. But forgiveness doesn't mean freedom from consequences." Justice Ademola's sentencing was harsh and deliberate. "Mrs. Grace Okafor, you corrupted Christianity for personal gain. You abused a vulnerable elder. You manipulated thousands of believers. You tried to commit murder on Christmas Eve. I sentence you to 25 years in prison for attempted murder, with additional sentences for other charges running concurrently. You'll serve minimum 20 years before parole eligibility." Grace's scream echoed through the courtroom. 20 years meant her children would be adults before she was free. Her life as she knew it was over. As guards led her away, she turned to Daniel with pure hatred. "This isn't over. I'll appeal. I'll get out. And when I do, you'll all pay." The threat was hollow but chilling. Some evil never reformed, it just waited. Outside, Daniel made a statement to gathered media. "My mother's life matters. Elder abuse hidden behind religion is still abuse. Influencers who fake faith for followers need accountability. I hope this case sets precedent that no one is above the law, regardless of how many Instagram followers they have." The quote was replayed across news stations globally. Grace's case became a watershed moment for religious accountability. If this story moved you, share it everywhere. Subscribe for the powerful conclusion. What should happen to false prophets? 6 months after sentencing, Daniel's life was slowly rebuilding. His business recovered as the truth exonerated him from Grace's accusations. Mama Agnes moved back into his home, this time into a mother-in-law suite she'd helped design, with full security and her own private space. The house was blessed, cleansed, and became a home again instead of a crime scene. His children were in therapy, processing how Mommy was in prison for hurting Grandma. It was age-appropriate, honest, and guided by professionals. Zara, initially manipulated by Grace, was coming to understand that sometimes people we love do bad things. The healing was slow but genuine. Grace's manipulation was being undone with patience and truth. Grace's appeals were denied at every level. The evidence was too overwhelming, her confession too clear. From prison, she tried maintaining her social media presence through supporters who posted for her, but her influence was dead. The gospel influencer who'd had thousands hanging on her words now had a digital graveyard of deleted content and disabled comment sections. Daniel started dating again, cautiously. A woman named Ifyananya, a child psychologist who worked with his kids' therapist. She was real, genuine, transparent, everything Grace had pretended to be. He took it slow, learning to trust again, watching for red flags, valuing substance over performance. The contrast between authentic goodness and Grace's manufactured holiness was stark. Then came unexpected news. Grace was pregnant in prison, claiming divine miracles since she'd had no conjugal visits. The story was absurd until investigators discovered a corrupt guard who'd been bribed. Grace had tried to get pregnant hoping a baby would get her early release. The manipulation never stopped. The guard was fired and prosecuted. Grace's sentence was extended for attempted prison fraud. 3 years after Christmas Eve 2023, Daniel stood in the same Balogun Market where his mother was almost killed. He was there for the unveiling of a community initiative, the Mama Agnes Elder Protection Fund, providing legal aid and support for elderly abuse victims. Mama Agnes, now 71 and thriving, cut the ribbon as the crowd applauded. "This market witnessed my lowest moment," Mama said into the microphone. "But from that darkness came light. My son's love, the justice system's accountability, and now this foundation helping others. If my pain prevents even one elder from suffering abuse, it was worth it." Her strength was humbling. She'd transformed trauma into purpose, victimhood into advocacy. Grace remained in prison, her earliest parole date still 17 years away. Her children visited occasionally, supervised and therapeutic, maintaining connection without enabling delusion. They were growing into healthy, honest kids who understood that mommy had done bad things and was facing consequences. The cycle of manipulation was broken. Daniel and Ifeanyi married in a small, genuine ceremony. No social media, no performances, just real people making real vows. Mama Agnes stood beside Daniel as he promised to love honestly, to see clearly, to never let blind trust override evidence again. The vows were informed by pain but hopeful about future. The story became a modern African folktale shared across churches, universities, and social media with new purpose. Not about religion versus witchcraft, but about how evil wears many masks, including Christian ones. About how vulnerability in elders must be protected. About how social media can camouflage cruelty. About how justice, though delayed, can still arrive. As Daniel tucked his children into bed Christmas Eve 2026, exactly 3 years after the attack, he reflected on the journey. From drowning in mud to building foundations. From betrayal to healing. From blind trust to wise love. The domestic betrayal had destroyed his old life but built something stronger. A family bound by truth instead of performance, by genuine faith instead of weaponized religion. "Daddy, do you still love mommy?" Zara asked quietly. Daniel considered carefully. "I love who I thought she was. But that person never existed. She was a performance. Now I love real people. You, your brother, Grandma, Ifeanyi, people who are honest even when it's hard. That's real love." Zara nodded, satisfied. The truth had set them free. Mama Agnes, listening from the doorway, smiled. She'd survived scammers, survived drowning, survived a daughter-in-law's murder attempt. She'd lived to see justice, to hold great-grandchildren, to turn tragedy into advocacy. Some stories ended in mud. Hers ended in legacy, a foundation, a stronger family, and the knowledge that speaking truth, no matter how hard, was always worth it. Thank you for following this powerful journey from attack to advocacy. What's your biggest takeaway about protecting elderly family members and seeing through religious manipulation? Comment below and share this story with everyone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more African folk tales with modern lessons. Remember, real faith protects the vulnerable. Fake faith exploits them. Hit like if this story opened your eyes to elder abuse hidden behind religion. Where are you watching from? Let us know.